Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Get With Free. It's been a while. It's been a while. I apologize. I have no other reason but other than to say I've been swamped. That's what white people say here. I'm so swamped, darling. Work means washing, but I'm back here now. Today, as you can see by the title, I will be dragging myself, listing all of my toxic traits and what I've done to work on them and what I'll continue to do to work on them. And also you'll be getting ready with me in the process. So stick around if you want to see all of that. And thank you so much for all my subscribers. And if you're new here, don't forget to like and share and leave a comment of what you thought, and definitely most importantly, don't forget to subscribe. Anyway, see you guys soon. So I'm gonna start with my brows, and I just want to say that this is not a tutorial. You're just watching me do my makeup, because filming a tutorial, guys, I tried it so many times, didn't work. It's very hard. Also, what's home? The airports like I said, he chat like the best and playing songs like Casey. I'm like, it's sorry guys, you know, when people that love you buy gifts, this is what happens. You use them and you love them and you cherish them. Okay guys, I mean, personally, this is not how I say people must do their makeup. It's basically what I do for my face. My brother's directing my video today, so if you hear someone going at the back, it's him because his voice finally broke. So I'm just gonna color correct. I washed my face, I added some sunscreen. Anyway, back to the crux of the things. Guys, if I'm being honest with you, one of my biggest toxic traits, I think, is I am a control freak. I don't know about you guys, but I'm such a I'm a slut for control. Like, if I know I think that's why I like driving so much, because I'm in control of the steering wheel and I feel like, let's go, you know? And if you want to irritate me, sit in my car and tell me how to drive. I will literally look at you and be like, do you want to come do this? Do you want to take over? Please never tell a person how to drive, because clearly they know what they're doing. And if you're not comfortable, get out. Get your own car. I get a bike up because I cannot koloi, but yeah, at some point I did, and then life happened. So I'm color correcting, as you can see, and I was telling you about how I am addicted to control. It alleviates most of my anxiety, because if I know what's going on, what to expect, I'm less anxious. I feel like anyone can relate to that. I mean, who likes chaos? But there's people who like chaos. Hey, when I used to be friends with some girl who was literally addicted to chaos. I think I at some point I was too, because when you survive a large amount of trauma, that's all you know. So yeah, and I'm really trying to let go of control. I'm learning more to control myself and how I react to things, and rather than controlling everybody else. My mom's a Virgo, so I got that trait from her, I think, because Virgos just like to micromanage things. And if you guys are upset by me saying that, it means that it's true. But that's not why we're here. I'm not trying anybody else, I'm trying myself. Bring it back. It's back. So yeah, I'm just color correcting, making sure that there are no harsh lines. And then, okay, my second toxic trait number 2, I overthink. I literally overthink the most. I think it's one of the things that really turn my day upside down, because I could be chilling with someone and they could be saying just a joke, you know, in passing, ha ha ha. I'll be ha ha ha, but deep down I'm just like, what do you really mean? Is that what you really mean? You know, so it really puts me through misery, but now I'm learning to just take things as they come, you know, and not really think there's more depth to things. Sometimes being an overthinker is one of the worst ways to fall into depression, because you automatically think that what you think and what you feel is the way. I'm contouring right now. I contour under my foundation and a bit over it, I'm an overthinker. It's really not nice to be with someone who's an overthinker, like friendship wise, because you constantly have to work on eggshells and constantly clarify what you actually meant. So I guess at some point I was not the best person to be around, and I believe my thoughts, and my thoughts are fueled by my feelings, and feelings don't necessarily include logic. So when you're not using your logic, 9 times out of 10, bruv, it's not going to end well, ain't it? So yeah, that is toxic trait number 2. What I do to kind of stop overthinking is that I journal a lot. Journaling is like my best friend, but I haven't done it in so long because I've been swamped. I've been busy. So I just rather document, like even when someone sends me like a text that is like really upsetting, or if something that's upsetting has been happening, I kind of just take the time to reframe and document like what I think about it and what's the constant thought that's looped in my mind, because I tend to spiral, you know. So yeah, that's what I do. Journaling helps, and I don't like to respond to text immediately, because you respond with an impulsive response but never with what you actually feel. So sometimes I take my time. Those who have me on WhatsApp know I'm a bad texter, and guys, you must appreciate it because sometimes it's from a good place. Anyway, that's my toxic trait, overthinking. Toxic trait number 3Z. Number 3Z. I think my toxic trait is that I'm very stubborn.
True
My
that.
What?
True that.
True that. Guys, my director's dragging me too. I think my boyfriend can attest to that. I'm super stubborn. I don't know why my brother's confirming that, because when have I been stubborn towards you?
24/7.
Wow. Anyway, you know,
It's just me.
these 2000s. Asikolapa though. Back to me. Spotlight on me. Thanks. I'm very stubborn. If I believe something, I believe it, and you can't change my mind about it. You have to give me substantial evidence to show me no, really you are wrong. Only then I'm like, oh, okay, sure, sorry, you know. And before, I never used to know how to apologize. That's also toxic trait number 4. It links in. I never used to know how to apologize. I'm in Aries. Unfortunately, we're very hell-bent on our thinking. If we believe something is like that, it's like that. There's nothing you can say to us to change it. So yeah, as you can see, I got the Aries tattoo. If you don't know about my tattoos, find out from my previous video. I think I'm gonna use a brush actually. I don't want to use my sponges yet. Anyway, I'm just gonna pump a bit of the foundation on my palm. 2 pumps. Oh, I hope it's not COVID.
Wait a minute. Wait, first of all, you're not gonna speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
But I'm just gonna spray water. I'm just gonna spray water on my brush to get it a bit moist so that it goes into my skin better. So yeah, that's toxic trait number 5 is that, Jesus Christ, I never used to have boundaries, like at all. I overshare a lot. As you can see, anyone who's been on my channel knows that I deviate a lot from the point sometimes because I tend to overshare. So a lack of boundaries used to be a thing for me, and it really messed up the way I experienced people and how people experienced me. But eventually I got it down. It takes a lot of work to say, no, this is too much, because you know, you're used to just overindulging, and too much of something is never good, like ever good. So I'm learning how to be honest about my feelings and really listen to my body, because sometimes we get a yes feeling and a no feeling from our body, but we tend to kind of ignore those feelings. But I'm learning to realize when it's a no feeling. You know what, I love you, but I'm getting a no feeling, so I need to honor myself and make sure that I don't go against what's good for me and enable this no feeling, you know. So I'm at that point right now. But before, If you said to me, let's do this, and I got a no feeling, I'm telling you, I didn't even care. And then I'd go back home and sulk and hate myself and just loathe everything. And I would never tell you. And I think that's what built my resentment. I used to be so resentful. But luckily I'm not a petty person, because I think if I was petty, some of y'all. Parasicolapo. So toxic trait number 6 is that I love to see the good in people. Like, if I see potential in you, I will be so obsessed with that potential. And potential is not real, guys. I think if I knew that growing up, I would have saved myself so much time in really whack relationships and friendships. But I really am obsessed with people's potential. Okay, I used to be, rather. I would like want to be like their biggest hype man and like always like rooting for you. Yes, Charmy, you're doing it, Charmy. And other people aren't like that, you know. They just kind of look at you and they're like, we want to see what you produce in reality. I didn't have that. I didn't know how to distinguish between what you're really capable of and what you're actually doing about it, you know. And I used to always want to be like number one cheerleader for people. Yes, Charmy, yes. And I never was that for myself, you know. But yeah, now I'm kind of learning to see the good in people, but not put them on a pedestal. Because when you put people on a pedestal, it doesn't end well. It really, really doesn't. I think we're on number 7 now, if not 8, guys. I used to not be vocal. So my toxic trait was that I would die inside. Like, I'm the type of person that would just genuinely die inside. And if you done something I didn't like, I would be like, yeah, it's okay. Guys, never say it's okay when it's not okay. Back to the yes and no feelings. I would get no feelings and be like, maybe I'm really just being dramatic. You know, when you hang out with people when you spend enough time with people that convince you that when you say how you feel, you're being dramatic, you end up believing this. So I used to believe what I'm, and it's like, let me let this pass. I'm probably just, you know, being dramatic. Whereas you're not. You're kind of just elaborating. And also, guys, I didn't realize this for the longest time. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Okay, so you can say, this doesn't make me feel nice, but if you're now throwing hands and you're being crazy, we're not even listening to what you're saying, we're reacting to how insane you're being, you know. So I think that was my problem. I would let things sit and they would pile up, and then eventually I would explode, you know. And now it's no longer about the issue, it's about my reaction to things. So I think that was one of my toxic traits, and now I'm kind of just learning how to pick my words wisely and, you know, accurately say, like, guys, I don't feel good about this because of that, or this is making me feel like this or like that. Can we rather, or is it possible that we do it like this, or what's the way forward so it doesn't happen, you know. Or I feel it, this happened, but when it was happening, I only realize now that I wasn't comfortable with that, or that really doesn't make me happy. Can we refrain from, you know, doing that, saying that, or, you know, whatever it is, you know. Now I know how to do that amicably. Before, I was literally a bomb ready to explode every single time, because I would never be vocal about how I felt, because I didn't listen to my body, I didn't honor my feelings, I didn't take the time to really, you know, tell the people that I thought cared about me, or people I cared about, how I actually felt. So I'm going to conceal. Guys, the trick to conceal is layering up. You have to layer up your concealer, and if anyone, you know, doesn't agree with me, that's okay, but this is how I do my makeup. Like I said, I use the shade that's like closest to my foundation on the outskirts. It's so obvious. On the outskirts of my, you know, my under eyes. We're gonna do that, and down the bridge of my nose. Guys, I'm looking in the mirror. Please don't think I'm neglecting you. We want to get this makeup right. And the trick also to concealer is to let it sit Just let it sit. Skachacha, you know what I mean? Skachacha. And then I'm gonna use another shade here. We're getting lighter and lighter. Must leave it again. Don't just throw in. This is how I do my makeup again. I just always want to disclaim that I'm not saying everyone must do it like that. You know, my director's giving me a side eye.
Pocahontas in the spotlight.
Did you just call me a Pocahontas? What is that?
You don't know Pocahontas?
Is it a superhero?
No.
Who's Pocahontas?
It's this from a Disney kids movie.
Now we are sure. Disney kids movie, darling. How old am I?
It was from your time.
How old am I?
It was from your time.
When did it get released?
Back in the 90s, bro.
Bro, in the 90s I wasn't watching TV. That's not DSTV. Solid DSTV.
She's a red Indian.
Give me that.
I didn't see you when you left. I only saw when you
No,
came back.
I chose the wrong foundation shade. I went to an audition.
You were dark chocolate.
I hope this one is the right shade. I don't know why, but every time my mom's home, it's like, mom's home. I think we're always waiting. You know, when you're a kid and they say to you, go keep your chicken in your fridge, and you don't, and your mom comes home, Uzikate.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
You're still in your PJs. You haven't made your bed. It's done. So I go into my brow to give it like a nice seamless finish, you know what I mean? And I really take it all the way up because I have a big forehead, so I do this, you know, I can't really. As I was telling you, my toxic traits, I won't lie to you, I've had my share of losing people in my life because I was just not a good person to be around. My toxic traits would flourish. They would genuinely flourish. So when I use concealer, I like to spray some setting spray on it instead of water, just so it doesn't move around. I blend in my dark shade first because I want to let the light shade sit longer. So yeah, my toxic traits really costed me some of my relationships, and I think it's important to be honest with yourself. The way I do things, the way I've been moving, it's probably not the best. And I think if you're not used to being honest with yourself, it's going to be a difficult process to go through. And if you know what things or what habits you have that hold you back, it makes it easier to get into relationships, you know, because now you know exactly that, okay, I'm this type of person, just in case you know. And if you catch me sleeping, if you catch me slipping, you can hold me accountable and say, you're being very stubborn right now. Also, don't be like, yeah, Vele, you're being stubborn. You see, now we're gonna fight. I must have to kick you in the face right now. Now we have to fight. So you must say it properly. Don't now use what I tell you in confidence against me, because I'm being vulnerable right now, and you're basically gonna take that and use that as ammo in an argument. No, come on now, please, don't be like that. Don't be like that. That's basically gaslighting me right there. That's the term, right? But if you know what gaslighting is, please tell me in the comment section. Like, I used to date someone who used to gaslight me so much. Yo, guys. That's the story for another day. I need to do a story time on all my crazy relationships. Yo, guys, because when I talk about them, I'm like, really, you went through that? I'm always so shocked. I'm like, what was I thinking? I think because I wasn't being honest with myself at the time, so I couldn't really say, I couldn't really say, nah, this is not it, you know. Anyway, I blended my concealer from darkest to lightest, working up, and I set with powder. And then I move on to the rest of my face, because, guys, I'm saying, guys, that it's important to be honest with yourself and your toxic traits, especially if you want to have meaningful relationships, because there's people who are not perfect, right? And if you're honest about your imperfections, it's easier to work on them. And I don't think anyone can attain perfection, but you can always work towards progress. That's my thing. I want to be with people that are progressive. So hello guys, hello, welcome back. Yeah, I'm done doing my lipstick and a bit of highlighting off camera. I don't know where the accent's coming from, but anyway. But can you not see that it's beautiful? You can see it. Exactly. Off camera, I lined my lips with the brow pencil that I used to do my eyebrows. And then I went in with a lipstick that I got from Woolworths. It's called Antique Rose. It's pink, but it didn't really come off as pink, so I didn't really like it. I went over it with a pink lip gloss from Essence. The name has rubbed off. Sorry guys, I've had it for so long. But yeah, that's my look basically. If I want to look put together and I have the time in the morning, this is what I usually would do. And I also kept my lips pink to keep with the theme. Pinky, pinky, my darling. Anyway, thank you so much for those who have watched to this far. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And we can, right? Okay. Can we please get my video to 50 likes? More if possible, because I feel like this face deserves it. Oh, honey. One thing about me, I'm beautiful, Shane. If there's one thing about me, get more.